This is Danielle Ott of PRMG's Corporate Training Department, and we will be discussing the requirements for the Ohio HFA, FHA, and Conventional DPA program. This training was recorded on May 22, 2017, and the information is correct and up to date at the time of the recording. However, before we begin, we would like to advise that while every effort has been made to ensure the reliability of the webinar content, PRMG's product profiles and their updates are the official statements of PRMG. In the event of discrepancies between the information in this webinar and the product profiles will always supersede the information provided here. The Ohio HFA DPA program is available for both FHA and conventional loans in the state of Ohio. Borrowers will receive a 30-year fixed-rate first lien, along with a forgivable 0% second mortgage of either 2.5 or 5% of the total first mortgage loan amount. We will look more closely at the additional incentives for down payment assistance that are available for recent grads and military heroes. The launch date for the Ohio HFA DPA program is Tuesday, May 23, 2017. This program will be available for retail channels only. It must be referred to the AFS division and will be fulfilled by the Plantation Fulfillment Center. Pricing for the program will be available through FT360 and Optimal Blue. It is important to point out that this product must be originated by AFS. It cannot be originated at the branch level. It must be referred to the AFS division for origination. The Ohio HFA DPA program does not require program or systems training. However, there are videos on the Ohio HFA website that outline the program requirements. Though it is not required, these training videos are highly recommended. Credentials will be provided to AFS or Fulfillment Center staff only. Referring loan officers will not be able to obtain credentials to the lender online portal. AFS and Fulfillment staff members who are in need of credentials should email support@prmg.net. The Ohio HFA DPA program features a 30-year fixed-rate, fully amortizing FHA or conventional first lien with a 0% forgivable second mortgage that is 2.5% or 5% of the total first mortgage loan amount. The assistance of 5% will have a higher rate than the assistance of the 2.5%. The second is forgiven on the 7th anniversary of the note date. However, the loan will be subject to repayment if the property is sold or refinanced within the first 7 years. There are additional incentives available for borrowers who are military heroes or who are recent graduates. These incentives will be discussed in more depth later in the presentation. It is important to note that the first trust deed must be used with the DPA, and only those borrowers who are using the first mortgage may apply for the second mortgage DPA. The DPA cannot be used as a standalone to any other first mortgage product and can only be used with the Ohio HFA First Mortgage. Active military and veterans, as well as firefighters, EMTs, paramedics, healthcare workers, police officers, and teachers, are eligible for additional rate incentives provided their gross annualized income is at or below the OHFA guidelines for the county in which the property is located. Ohio Heroes receive the same 7-year forgivable assistance in the amount of 2.5% or 5% of the total first mortgage loan amount that was discussed earlier in the presentation. Associates who are first-time homebuyers and who have received an associate's, baccalaureate, master's, doctoral, or other postgraduate degree from an accredited college or university within 48 months of the application to Ohio HFA are eligible for the Grants for Grads DPA program, which also features rate incentives. As with the Ohio Heroes and first-time homebuyer options, the assistance is in the amount of exactly 2.5% or 5% of the total first mortgage loan amount. The assistance is forgiven at a rate of 20% per year and may be repayable if sold within the first 5 years from the closing date. Exceptions may apply to this requirement. Refer to the product profiles located on the Resource Center for full guidelines. Borrowers may also use the Ohio HFA Mortgage Credit Certificate or MCC program in conjunction with the Ohio HFA DPA program. Guidelines can be found within the lender online portal on the Ohio HFA's website. The Ohio HFA program requires a credit score of 660 for FHA loans and 640 for conventional loans, with a maximum DTI of 45%. Purchase price and income limits also apply and are posted on the Ohio HFA website. Ohio HFA loans must also meet FHA and Fannie Mae guidelines, and AUS findings must be approved eligible. We will now take a look at some of the borrower requirements for the Ohio HFA DPA program. In addition to U.S. citizens, permanent resident aliens and non-permanent resident aliens are eligible with acceptable documentation that they are legally present in the United States. Non-occupying co-borrowers are not allowed on this program. However, non-occupying co-signers are allowed. There is a first-time homebuyer requirement for this program, which we will look at in a little more detail later in the presentation. For more information on eligible borrowers, please refer to the product profiles located on the Resource Center. The Ohio HFA DPA program has a first-time homebuyer requirement that applies to borrowers and their spouses. However, there are exceptions to this requirement. If a borrower is a veteran who has served in active military, naval, or air service and is qualifying under the veterans exception, they are exempt from the first-time homebuyer requirement. Borrowers who are purchasing a home in a targeted area are also exempt from the requirement. More information on the first-time homebuyer requirement and its exceptions can be found in the Ohio HFA product profile located on the Resource Center. The Ohio HFA requires homebuyer education for all FHA borrowers, even if they are not first-time homebuyers. For conventional loans, at least one occupant borrower must take homebuyer education, even if he or she is not a first-time homebuyer. A certificate from a HUD-approved counseling agency that has been issued within the previous 12 months, or participation on OHFA's Streamlined Homebuyer Education course is required. The Ohio HFA DPA program allows for one-unit single-family residences, PUDs, condos, and 2 to 4 unit properties. Properties cannot exceed 2 acres within municipal corporations or 5 acres outside of municipal corporations. Manufactured homes as well as recreational, vacation, or second homes are not allowed. For more information on property eligibility, please refer to the Ohio HFA product profile located on the Resource Center. Pricing for the Ohio HFA DPA program will be available in FT360 and Optimal Blue. After a loan is reserved through Lender Online, commitment packages must be submitted to Ohio HFA within 25 days of reservation. Loans must be purchased and funded within 70 calendar days of the loan reservation date. If the 70-day purchase deadline is not met, loans will be subject to a 3/8 extension fee for every 30 days beyond the original 70 days. We will now take a look at the program fees for the Ohio HFA DPA program. Discount points are not permitted on this program, however an origination fee of 0.50% must be charged. There is a $400 funding fee and a $58 tax service fee that are payable to the master servicer, and a $100 administration fee that is payable to Ohio HFA, which can be paid by either the buyer or the seller. Standard PRMG fees for underwriting and processing are to be charged. Ohio HFA loans are reserved through the Lender Online reservation system by the AFS team once the underwriter has issued a conditional approval. Once the loan is locked in Lender Online, the locked registration confirmation will be sent by AFS to secondary so they can complete the lock process in FT360. Loans must be purchased and funded by U.S. Bank within 70 days. Ohio HFA posts daily first mortgage rates on the Lender Online portal, but pricing will be available through Optimal Blue. As previously mentioned, loans must be delivered and purchased by U.S. Bank within 70 days of the rate lock. Any loan that is delivered after 70 days is subject to an extension fee of 3/8 for every 30 days beyond the original 70 days. Loans canceled during the rate lock period cannot be reserved for the same borrower purchasing the same property for 60 days from the original reservation expiration date or cancellation date, whichever is later. Always notify secondary of the cancellation request. The Ohio HFA DPA program is a great option for first-time borrowers with credit scores as low as 640, and borrowers have the option to receive forgivable down payment assistance in the amount of either 2.5% or 5% of the original first mortgage loan amount. Exceptions exist for eligible non-first-time homebuyers, and there are additional incentives available for recent graduates as well as for Ohio Heroes. An MCC can also be combined with the down payment assistance, provided maximum benefit to the borrower. These housing authority programs have additional documentation and review requirements, so it is important to set proper expectations with borrowers and realtors and plan for the time it is going to take to get these loans through the system due to these additional review requirements. We highly recommend reviewing the product profiles for the Ohio HFA DPA program, which are located on the Resource Center. For questions regarding program compliance, training, and for questions regarding the Lender Online portal, contact the Ohio HFA at the number shown in this slide. For specific program scenarios, contact Erin Higgins with Ohio HFA via email or phone. As we close the training, remember that the launch date for the Ohio HFA DPA program is Tuesday, May 23, 2017. If you have specific questions on data input in FT360, you can access the training material from the Resource Center or reach out to support@prmg.net for additional assistance. The Ohio HFA website and Lender Online portal can also be reached at the link shown here. Thank you for taking the time to view this training. If you have any questions regarding this presentation, please email prmguniversity@prmg.net.